News Talk Sports 94 point. Dave Wolflaw with Brentwood. Vikings City Niles coming up 18 Niles and Steelers. Frankly, this fought battle, game. I think the first half was subtle mistakes that helped. Subtle mistakes that kind of gave St. Joe a lead and kind of gave Niles the lead back. But I think in the second half, when St. Joe was trailing, they went away from the running game, and the big mistakes ended up costing them.
Well, and I think you have to credit the Niles. Niles offensive line took control midway through the second, third, and fourth quarter. There was only one play during that entire stretch where they had dropped Niles for a loss. Mm-hmm. And we run play defense against an option team, service academy style offense. The key in that offense is always to move forward, like the wing team. So you have third and short.
Stay on schedule,
right.
Yeah.
And if you don't have penetration from the D line, which St. Joe did not have much in that ball game, you allow the running backs to pick the routes. And they had good runs from the outside in, and their quarterback, a freshman, just continued to gain confidence throughout the game. St. Joe didn't really do much. They ran patterns which were underthrown and got kind of picked off.
And I think there was no separation either between the St. Joe receiver and the defender.
Well, and what I noticed was, even though Niles had started, it showed zone pass coverage, it really was man-to-man on the corners, and they kept the 2 free safeties up. And so, I think St. Joe, passing-wise, as they ran that one post pattern, Schmidt, I think they probably need to do more of that, get Croc involved more on the passing game too, the short passing, because Dixon and the other running backs then will get more yardage. But you got to credit Niles. There was a reason in the state championship last season, and for a program that people thought, well, they lost so much, and I think they got a program, and what they have is the next guy up, and that's what they did here tonight. Niles is a team that could go 8-1, 9-0. St. Joe could 7-2, 8-1, but I think they've got to fix some things. We started announcing Niles unnamed a lot later in the second half as a free safety making the tackle, which is not what you want.
Yeah.
Right. Now Isaac Cotty came out on fire. He ended up with 18 tackles, 4 off the school record. But teams are going to double team him.
Yep.
And they're going to run away from him. So it's who else can make those tackles up front? The nice thing is it's one game. They didn't play disastrous, just not good enough to win against a state championship type caliber team.
A very easily what you would call a first game. But when you're playing a first game against a team like Niles, it ends up costing you.
It does. And this is one of the top matchups in the state of Michigan across any publication you ran or that you saw. And it lived up to it.
Yep.
And you kind of really credit Brawley here down at Niles and the coaches and this Niles community. They have and you've been down here, Dave, for 30 years. I've been for 40 years. They have invested in the facilities. They've invested in their coaches. They're keeping the good athletes who, in the past, I know would go to Edwardsburg and or South Bend, which is why now their enrollment's going back up, which is why they're
back in the
D3. But they're going to be the chance for St. Joe Niles will still be the Zealand West. They got maybe he's not as good as the previous guy that was retired after 5 state titles. The nice thing is, St. Joe schedules teams like Niles. They schedule teams because they want hard physical games, not passies, that will help them as the season progresses. And with the playoff point system as it is, it rewards you for playing good opponents. We saw that last year with Lakeshore getting into a 3-6 record. People and I'm like, they played good opponents.
Yeah,
that's why they're in.
Because they played Niles.
Exactly.
They played well, and
that's St. Joe. Yeah, Grand Haven, which was a doormat, had a good season last year.
Yep.
And a division.
Another thing I want to bring up is St. Joe all their touches tonight. They went for 2.
Yeah,
is St. Joe not kicking his point? Did that hurt them tonight?
Well, it didn't help them because they didn't get any of the 2 points. And we'll talk with Coach Brantley on Saturday morning, coaching show. He'll change the subject a little bit. All 4 coaches coming in on Saturday are coming off losses. So Phil and I are going to be like counselors, which is going to be a hard task for me. But
you mean your face is not going to be buried in the whatever goodies are coming?
Well, I do that between commercials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're during commercials. But yeah, that's something I'm just going to ask coaches. What's the thought process for not kicking versus now going for 2? And they started last year, but I thought last year it was more
of an injury
to Claire, not so much what they wanted to do. And it could be they just don't have confidence in.
I mean, you look at it, it's 28-18, 3 extra points for St. Joe. It's 28-21.
It's a one possession.
It's a one possession game.
Yeah, and that was they needed to get it down. Yeah, used to 2018. That 2-point conversion really was going to decide the game, and when they didn't get it, game with 3 minutes, and that's just not enough. Niles, there's just a clock with Coach Shaw.
St. Joe gets their home opener next week against Edwardsburg. Edwardsburg was
they were losing by 1 to McBain, going to the fourth quarter.
And that's a trip coming back. So
yeah, that's why they're playing Friday night, and they actually play the JV game first. And then they were like, we're not sending 2 teams 3 miles each direction. So
Edwardsburg is probably going to be hopefully staying a night at a hotel.
No, they'll be back tonight.
Labor Day weekend, couldn't hurt to just take a relaxing trip. But St. Joe hosting Edwardsburg next week at Steve Upton Field at Dickinson Stadium. The Bears coming in at 0-1. Edwardsburg, don't know yet.
You know what you got to get for next week? A bear growl when they make a bear first time.
I got a bear growl.
Do you?
Yes.
Do I not hear it the entire time?
No, you've got headphones on the entire game.
Well, I heard the Viking about ready to blow it up.
Those speakers are facing inward.
Oh, that's why I kept hearing it?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool until I kept hearing it 5 times in a row. Then I'm like, okay, I'm over. I get it.
Yeah, it's a some say it sounds like a toilet when I play it. But
Hopefully not plugged.
St. Joe hosting Edwardsburg next week at Steve Upton Field at Dickinson Stadium next Friday, September 5th. It'll be a packed press box at St. Joe. We got the Sports Michiana in town. We got
really they're coming over.
They're coming up.
Got Freebie in there.
Freebie and
good man.
We'll put them right next door to you.
That's cool.
So when the food comes, just for all, we'll see.
Well, no, so not what they really do is they stop by us first.
Oh.
That kind of figured out.
Bears hosting Edwardsburg next week, but for now, St. Joe falls to Niles 28-18. Bears fall to 0-1. They host Edwardsburg next week. For Brett Witkowski, Joel Chris, I'm Dave Wolf, WSJM Sports.
Have a good holiday.
And then last year,